Hello everyone, I'm Bra Mithra. Welcome to the settlement event after the butcher. We lived past the butcher. That's amazing, actually, because it's a Twilight Knight and training campaign, and if Lightning had died, that would be really bad. And you know, the butcher is like the first, like, hurdle. Nemesis are considered like hurdles, gear checks and stuff, and I was really worried about the gear that we had. um, as I said, I don't have very many gear sets. I just have rawhide, and I can't get hide. I can't make any armor. I couldn't do anything, and we went without bandages. That's fine. I realized I played a little bit more recklessly than I probably should. But normally I don't really bring bandages anyway, but normally that's because I'm okay with people dying to Nemesis. It's not that big of a deal. So we'll definitely have to make bandages. That was definitely pointed out. That's a thing we will have to do for Butcher 2. Now, for this specific thing, back to the bandages, I know that in editing and everything, I noticed that I made a mistake giving wounds to the butcher with AI cards and everything. But I actually made another mistake with bleed tokens on the very first attack, no less. The very first turn, I made a mistake with a bleed token. So, since that was the very first turn, the best way I could possibly do it is just add the bleed token, right? Because the attack didn't do any extra damage. It was just a missed bleed token that I was supposed to give somebody. So that would have also knocked him down depending on where the extra hit went. The extra 1 damage, right? 1 damage wouldn't have made or break, wouldn't have mattered in the killing of the person, is what I meant to say. The bleed token is what would have killed him. The damage was moot. But the falling down, the fact that I could have gotten a heavy injury somewhere from the extra damage would have knocked them down. And since it was the first turn, that means either I redo the entire fight, or, as I said, I was going into that fight knowing that my gear, there was no way I could possibly tank anybody. Even as you saw who tried, the mistake, the two people who were trying to tank for Lightning, both in the mistake from the AI cards, both of them ended up dying. Now with the mistake of the bleed token, Cyrus ends up dying because he should have had 1 extra bleed token. But either way, my mindset was always going to be burning them down. Burning the butcher down. So I would have encouraged him, even if he would have gotten knocked down, I definitely would have encouraged him, because going into that fight, I knew there was no chance that I would have possibly of trying to tank him or trying to, target the same person over and over. No, I was going in, I'm going to attack every single time. I'm going to try not to cat eye circle it or whatever. I know at the end of the fight I ended up doing it, but I was going to be reckless. I wasn't going to cat eye circle it. I wasn't going to rawhide headband. I wasn't going to waste any of my actions doing that stuff. I was just going to encourage and surge. That was my game plan. So yes, technically I could have gotten knocked down, and that might have changed the way, but I would have encouraged him. I know I would have. That was my mindset. I was open with it about that. For the last 2 settlements event, I was open about having to burn him down. So, I don't think that would have made an effect. But ultimately, Cyrus does die. So, that sucks for Cyrus. But ultimately, it's our first death, which is good. So we finally get the principal. We're going to go with Graves. Now, I won't be able to go with the principal for that right away. I won't get it till check milestones, but someone did die. So, now the other thing is, I really do enjoy the difficulty of the game. Right? I find difficult games are good, and overcoming the difficulty, or learning from mistakes and improving your gameplay, or trying new things despite the difficulty, is where the fun lies for me personally in this game, right? And I'm not saying that you need to play by the rules all the time. I like to play by all the rules. That's why I'm so adamant about correcting everything. And I know I make mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes. There's too much. There's one downfall of this game. It's the table management of this game. Playing solo, just table management in general. There's a lot of things that could have been way more streamlined about this game. But either way, and there's plenty of things I do differently as well. Like, I'm not going to do the 5 innovation thing, because it makes no sense for Hooded Knight to show up when I already have a Twilight Knight in training, because they're just going to come and kill him, or kill the Twilight Knight, like 40% of the time, and then I just lose. Like, why add Hooded Knight to the campaign? And there's other things that other campaigns have this, like you know, the fact that the Twilight Sword's not a sword, or the fact that you can't even use you can't even activate the Twilight Sword until you're insane because it's sentient, yet it gets thrown into you during the prologue and you're never going to so you wouldn't be able to use it. It makes no sense. Things like that just don't make sense. So rules like that, you know, obviously I'm okay with stuff like that. Now I've gotten around with the sentient thing because I've got the Allison White Box, which includes the cloak, so you can use sentient gear in your gear grid if you're wearing the cloak. So again, but normally in the Twilight Knight campaign, Twilight Knight training campaign, you wouldn't be able to do stuff like that. And there's, you know, lots and lots of playthroughs on YouTube where, you know, sometimes people fudge rules and stuff to make this game go longer, or they just say, oh, well, we made a mistake. Which is fine and great. Look, I fudge rules for like the hybrid armor set. I enjoy using the hybrid armor set, even though I don't enjoy Lion Knight. It's not that the fight for Lion Knight is bad. I've only done it, three times? I included him one time in a campaign. I think you fight him 4 times. So I fought him 4 times. So not that the fight's bad. It's just that it's just weird. It's a weird fight. You auto lose on things, or you it's very gamey. It's not even really a fight. You make sure you do things at certain times, and then it forces you down the path of getting like Guitar Master if you want to even get good reward. It's very weird. So for green armor and stuff, if you go on that route, so there are things that obviously I don't play 100% by the rules by. But when it comes to things like someone should have died, like this, Cyrus, I'll go back, I'll fix it, and all those things. That's just how I get enjoyment out of the game. And I don't think anybody needs to be as strict as I play. That's just the way I like to do it. I enjoy the puzzle of overcoming things. And like I said, there's plenty of other things I could do to make daggers better, or all kinds of things. You could rule, there's community edition and stuff like that improves certain bad things, brings them up to par with better things. Fine, great, awesome stuff. So, just thank you for sticking through as I make all these corrections all the time, and deal with one minor mistake and then me doing a whole explanation of how I'm going to fix it. Again, that's just how I find enjoyment out of it, and it's good to show how difficult and how one minor missed bleed token can change the entire fight. Or even with the Butcher, how forgetting to discard an AI card, well, it was actually 2, but either way, one more round with that Butcher and Lightning took like 11 hits. It was crazy. So it's fun to just play the game the way it should be, right? So thank you so much for sticking through as I always do these corrections. I try not to make them take forever. This time, there's no way around it. I just had to explain what happened, so that's why the person's dead. So, Cyrus, thank you for dying in place of Lightning. So, here we go. We're going to start again. You mentioned fudging rules. Again, you're not supposed to do Gorm Climate first, but because you're supposed to shuffle it back in the deck and redraw it, I do it first, then I shuffle and draw. So, stuff like that. There's plenty of things that could have been streamlined about this game. So, here we go. Going to start ourselves off, Gorm Climate. And here we go. Alright, here we are, Gorm Climate. Same thing, I'm not going to read this whole thing every single time. We're just going to roll and we'll see what happens. 10, so the storytelling, no. Settlement struggles against the quaking ground, linking arms to brace. Nominated survivor with 0 hunt experience. They draw strength from the settlement's determination and gain +1 courage. So, a person with 0 hunt experience, that's going to be a new person. So, I'll have to decide who that new person is in editing. But I've got a whole bunch of sheets right here. So, new person, 0 hunt experience, they're going to gain +1 courage. Let me fill that in. This is new person. So, again, I'll have to see who this is. Keep this off to the side right there. So that's Gorm Climate. Now, put this back in the deck. Now I shuffle. Now we do our settlement event. As you can see here, I've got it open for Hands of Heat, my favorite boon event. There was just a discussion somewhere in the Discord. There's Gorm Climate. Discord, Lantern's Reign Discord or whatever about Hands of Heat or boon events or what's the balance of things, and then how the Kickstarter claims that Hands of Heat is a boon, like it's so good for your settlement to get +1 courage and then perhaps lose half of your storage. That's so great. What a great exchange for +1 courage. In our case, +1 courage is really going to help, so I'm actually looking forward to Hands of Heat right now, but I often get very screwed by Hands of Heat. I don't like it. So, there we go. Now, we do our roll. Oh, wow, 2 Lantern 10s right in a row. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th card. Okay, this is a long one. Triathlon of Death. Okay, this is definitely a long one. Okay, the settlement engages in games of skill. Each player nominates a different survivor. Okay, again, how I was just talking about doing things with weird rules. I also do Weird Dream. I just do Weird Dream. I don't do the just solo thing. Or no, I do the solo, not nickname and stuff. And Triathlon to Death, where you're only supposed to have one person for one player, or Murder, or it's one player, one thing. I just do 4. It just makes sense. So I'll nominate 4 survivors for this. So we're going to do 4. Determines their score for each possible contest. Survivors' scores determine their place. The settlement only has 1 survivor. Do not roll. They realize that they have been competing against themselves and gain 3 insanity, a random disorder, and the last man standing fighting art. Okay, so we're going with new person, who I have right here, who just gained that 1 courage. I have all the names, I just don't have them with me. I should have brought them down to record this, wrote them all down and everything from all the suggested names, but I'm going to pick up this card just to look at it. So what do we get? So someone's going to get a movement. Someone's going to get a courage, rawhide boots, and someone's going to tear their Achilles. Okay. Bragging rights, 1 skull, 1 understanding. Survivor gets 2 angry, skip the next hunt. And someone's going to become apathetic. Weapon proficiency, strength, fighting art, and dismembered arm. If 1 survivor gets... or someone could die. Looks like we're going to go with 4 brand new people, actually. I think I have enough for this, right? I haven't been able to do intimacy. That's all we're doing, by the way. You can see the table here is very lackluster. We got Hands of Heat to do, and we're just going to augury. Besides from doing, the regular stuff. Doing the settlement events and stuff like that, and gaining... we also got Butcher's Cleaver and Lantern Oven. So after Hands of Heat, we're just trying to trigger intimacy. I hope I can finally get it. It'd be great. This is like Lantern Year 5. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay. So here we go. So we're going to have 4 people here. All these people are going to have 0... Oh, wait. I was looking at the settlement population. We haven't lost anybody. And our population was 12. So yeah, we have enough for this. Okay. So, we're going with 4 brand new people. Just because I don't want to mess with the people who we're leveling up weapon proficiencies with. It's really important that those people stay very healthy so we can at least finish up some weapon proficiencies. I'm also going to talk about weapon proficiencies. This is going to be a long settlement event where I just talk about things and clarify things, apparently. That's what we're doing. We're just going to talk. We're going to chill. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do some rolls, watch bad things happen to people, and not really do much of anything. What a settlement event. Okay, so A here for right now. We got A, then we got B, we got C, and we've got D, because I don't know their names yet. So, for A is the person who has the courage. Here we go. Triathlon's Death. I'm just going to keep this and roll multiple times and just read it off. I'll show one more time. There you go. It's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to have to go through. No sense in leaving the card there. We're just going to roll a whole bunch. Okay. So, score 1d10, plus your movement attribute. Everybody's got 5. So, here we go. It's just a null. It's just null here. So first A. A had an 8. I should have got a sticky note. Let me grab a sticky note. I'm back. Sticky note. So we're going A, B, C, and D. A had an 8 for the first one. B has a 9. C has a 3. And D has an 8. So now we're going to roll off between A. A gets a 3. And D. Okay, D gets a 10. So A gets 3rd. D gets 2nd. So we're just going to say A had a 7. That'll be easier. Okay, let's resolve this now. So, B, +1 permanent movement. So 6. B's at 6 movement. Who got 2nd place? D got 2nd place. Gains +1 courage. C found rawhide boots. And Achilles tendon for 4th place, which was C. What's in a torn Achilles tendon? Legs. Torn Achilles tendon. Your leg cannot bear your weight. Until the end of the showdown, whenever you suffer a light, heavy, or severe injury, you're also knocked down. Skip the next hunt. I'm going to just say skip the next hunt. I mean, it says that for one of these on here already. I guess thematic, but whatever. So skip the next hunt for C, okay? Whatever, they're not going out anyway. None of these people were going to go out. Okay, debate contest. Here we go. A is a 2. B. Oh wait, do I add anything? It's plus understanding. None of these people have understanding. Okay. B has a 5. C has a 7. That definitely means someone's not going to die, at least. One survivor will not get 4th place for everything. And a 2. Oh god, A and D again with the roll off. 7 for A. And D. Okay, so A pulls it out this time. A gets a 3. I'm just bumping up the 2 to a 3 so I can keep it. Okay, C gets 1st place, gains bragging rights, and 1 skull basic resource. I don't have the skull basic resource out. I don't have basic resources out. Okay, so I've got to get my skull. We got one of those. Might lose at the hands of heat. Who knows? So there's skull. Okay. 2nd place was B, who gains +1 understanding. Okay. Survivor gets too angry and must skip the next hunt. Who is 3rd? A. A skips the next hunt. Apathetic disorder. Oh, it's right here on the bottom. Apathetic disorder. Okay, you've given up. Nothing seems to matter. You have no concern for your own well-being. You cannot use or gain survival. You cannot gain courage. Cure the disorder if you have 8+ understanding. Okay, so who's apathetic? D is apathetic. Disorder, apathetic. No survival. And no courage, right? No survival, no courage. Great. That's a good disorder. Okay. Final one. Strength attribute. None of these guys have strength. Okay. Okay, first is A, 7. B, 7. C, 2. And D, 4. Okay, A is again involved in another roll-off. Every single time A has had a roll-off. 10 versus B. Another 10. Okay, A again. And B, 2. A lost every single one in a roll-off. Okay. B wins and gains nothing. They gain a weapon proficiency. They don't have any. Permanent strength for A. +1 strength. D gets a random fighting art. Okay, random fighting art. For D here. Oh man, D's apathetic. Yeah. Dropped one. Okay. And yeah. Tumble, that's a good one. Too bad I'll never use this person because they're apathetic. So D has fighting art tumble, which is not bad. What is it? Avoid collision, right? Something would collide with you on a 6+, you avoid it. Okay. Okay. That's D. And dismembered arm, severe injury for C. Dismembered arm. Dismembered arm. You lose an arm. Can no longer activate two-handed weapons. This injury is permanent. Cannot be reported twice. Survived with 2 dismembered. Okay. Dismembered arm. Ability impairments. Dismembered arm. No two-handed. Is that it? Is that really it? Just no two-handed? Yeah, just no two-handed. It's not that bad. Not that bad at all. So, the best one to come out of this was B and A. A and B were the best ones to come out of this. C just didn't really gain anything. Just lost an arm. And D is just really bad now. Okay. We'll see who all those people were. Let's clean this up. Okay. Now, we've got story event, which is Hands of Heat. Okay, Hands of Heat. The settlement already has... Nope, we do not. One lucky day, a clumsy accident knocks a lantern free from the towering lantern horde. Sudden flash of heat bathes the survivors as the lantern crashes to the ground. Now shattered, the lantern light dies, but the seed of an idea begins to grow. Nominated survivor. They gain +1 courage, and they experiment with lanterns. So, we're doing Bill for this. So Bill is going to gain +1 courage, which is going to trigger Bold. Most importantly, Bold during the settlement phase makes him a matchmaker. So I can actually do intimacy. So he's gaining matchmaker. And we're going to quickly do Bold. Bold, settlement phase. A 9. He gains a permanent... No. Permanent strength, yeah. Permanent strength for Bill. That's perfect. Now if he doesn't die experimenting with lanterns. Okay, experimenting with lanterns. Please not a 7+. Please not a 7+. Not a 7+. Okay, a 3. That's also not good, but not bad. Agitated lantern shatters in the survivor's face. Badly burned and disfigured, the survivors exiled from the settlement as an inhuman monster. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I hate Hands of Heat. Oh, I hate Hands of Heat. Oh, I hate Hands of Heat. God, this stupid event. Okay, so Bill's exiled. We gain the Lantern Oven. And add Bone Witch to the timeline. 3 lantern years from now. Where's my timeline? Well, so Bill is dead. Hey, he would have triggered Graves now as well. So, whatever. -1 population. So Bill and Cyrus have now died. Well, that's the end of Hands of Heat. Look at that. I get to mark this off. And we're adding Bone Witch to 3 years from now, okay? 1, 2, 3. It's year 8. Bone Witch. hate Hands of Heat. I hate Hands of Heat. It's fine. So we get Lantern Oven. There we go. We now have Heat. Departing Survivors gain +1 survival, so we have 3 Departing Survival now. We can do anything with Heat, and what's the other one? Lantern Consequences. So we add this to the innovation deck. There we go. Lantern Oven. I'll write this down. Lantern Oven. And then we're going to add Cooking and Scrap Smelting. I already had them set aside because I knew you automatically gain Lantern Oven, which I was saying before in the last settlement event. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I skipped on Lantern Oven when I drew it. I just got something else, even though that something else was a Gorm innovation, which I also didn't want. But hey, we're doing great. This is going great. Okay, that's the end of that. So, that's the end of Hands of Heat. Now, we only had 3 returning survivors. I can see now I forgot to even put down endeavors, but there we go. We're going to have 3 endeavors because we only had 3 returning survivors. We're going to hope to try to trigger intimacy. Let's go ahead and make we're going to make A female and B male and C, whatever. C and D I'll figure out later. Okay, so intimacy. We're going to do... Well, we didn't lose half of our resources, which is good, I guess. I mean, we lost Bill, which is not good. Really not good, but what can you do? It's going to be our matchmaker, but what can you do? So, here we go. Where is it? Where's Augury? Augury, Organ Grinder. Organ Grinder. Going for Augury. Okay. So we can gain understanding. So, who is close to getting 3 understanding? Let's look at who's going to go out. Mordor is definitely going out. Lightning's definitely going out, and Arwen. No, Arwen's not going out. She's possessed. Issa. Issa's definitely going out. So, I guess... Oh, she's got Vestophobia. We really need to cure that disorder. Oh, can I? That's right. I don't think I can do Trepanning because I don't have Screaming Antelope. Or no, I do have Screaming Antelope. What was I thinking? I need to go get the Screaming Antelope. I have to go fight one, but I haven't been fighting him. Yeah, I need to go fight the Screaming Antelope. No, I don't. What do I need to make? The Leather Worker to get Trepanning, right? Pretty sure. Barber Surgeon. That is the... Okay. I do need to fight Screaming Antelope. Okay, let's... be done with that until I need it again. Oh man, this is not going well. Okay, that can go back over there. Let's do this. Who else is going to go out then? Bill and Cyrus are now dead. So, one of these people, probably A, is probably going to go out. Let's get some survival with A. I don't think A had to skip the next hunt phase, right? I can't remember now who had to skip the next hunt phase. I have to look through here. Where did I put stupid Triathlon of Death? So A got 3rd, Rawhide Boots. 3rd again. They must skip the next hunt. Okay. So A does need to skip the next hunt. And who was the other person who needs Dismembered Arm? Who was 4th? C. So A and C have to skip the next hunt. So B. B is going out. He's got 6 movement. It's not that bad. Oh, he's got 1 understanding as well. Okay, B can go out. That's fine. Who else is... Yeah. Okay, B's going to go out. So let's do Organ Grinder here with B. Okay, so we need an 8+ for intimacy. Okay, bam. Okay, looks like he's going to gain 1 understanding. Lose 1 resource. So he's going to lose the skull that we found. Right. What else do I have here in the resources? I can lose... Am I going to fight... I was going to fight another Gorm. Yep, we're going to lose that skull we just found, and B here is going to gain an understanding. So that's 1 of our endeavors. Here we go again. This is our second endeavor with B yet again. Okay, we're going to lose... We're going to lose a broken lantern. I got no choice. Don't really want to be losing broken lanterns, but that's going to trigger understanding. Or that's going to trigger insight, I mean. So, insight with B. Insight, settlement phase. He's a tinkerer. It's good for when he returns. Tinkerer. And what's he going to get? A 10. +1 permanent strength. Okay. Okay, let's go. Please, intimacy, 8+, last endeavor. Please, intimacy. I dropped the dice. Yes! I can't believe this took... I can't believe how long this took. I think that literally was like 12 endeavors I think I've spent doing this. Awesome. Oh, thank you. B, you don't need to be the person who does intimacy, but... who's skipping a hunt? Or which... D, with apathetic. D, you're female. And C, who's got a broken arm, you're male. You two are doing intimacy. So, intimacy. I forget what happens first. I think you do intimacy and then you do New Life Principle. I just want to make sure. Just get intimacy here. Intimacy. So the first time your settlement gives birth to a new survivor, gain +1 population from intimacy. The survivors ponder existence. Then they principle New Life. So we're going to do principle New Life. Nominate 1. Okay, so now first you roll, and then you do principle New Life. Okay, so first we roll. So C and D are the male and female. A 4. Nominate 1 and roll on intimacy level below. 4. A new survivor is brought kicking and screaming into the world. The child's eyes are free from the ink that stained the founders' faces. Settlement gains +1 population. That's fine. The first time your settlement gives birth to a new survivor, gain +1 population. We just did that. The survivors ponder existence, principle New Life. Okay. I need to grab another empty sheet here. So this was D, or no, B, C and D is giving birth to E. So this is E now. Principle New Life. We're also going to do Grave Principle after this as well. Principle Death, Principle Conviction. Principle New Life. Here we go. Finally, oh my gosh. The group must decide how to raise their young. So this time we're doing Without Mercy. I think I set it aside. Yes, I did. Survival of the Fittest. This is what we're going with this time, because we didn't do it last time. Last time we went with Protect the Young. So, Survival of the Fittest. +1. This is not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. +1 survival limit. So this goes at 5. Now survival limit of 5. When rolling on the intimacy table story event, you roll twice and take the lowest result. All current and newborn survivors gain +1 strength, +1 evasion. Once per lifetime, you may re-roll. So we have the re-roll this time, whereas last time we did not. So, we've done that. That's survival of the fittest. We have re-rolls on everybody. Everybody's going to gain +1 strength, +1 evasion. So that's going to be great. And I'm not going to mark that right now, but I will do that for everybody. And then we're also going with... that's the end. So that is the end of the settlement. We did it. That's the end of the settlement phase. Now we just do principal death, because now is when we check milestones. We see that someone has died. Principal society. No, where's principal death? Principal new life. Principal death. Here we go. Settlement decides to... No, wait, no. The group must decide what they're going to do with this first survivor's corpse, which we are doing graves. So here we go. All new survivors gain +1 understanding. When a survivor dies during the hunt or showdown phase, you gain 2 endeavors. Survivor during the settlement phase, you gain 1 endeavor. So, we have graves now, but it doesn't really benefit anything of these survivors, but everybody's going to be born with 1 understanding. Now we do the roll for graves, which is the settlement decides to build a small monument to mark their loss. The settlement gains death principal graves. Find and place the card, blah, 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 adding to the roll 1d10. So do I have to nominate someone? Group must decide. No, then I don't nominate. Okay, so here we go. Roll 1d10. An 8. Nominate a survivor. With tears in their eyes, the survivor takes a shard of rock from the grave and marks themselves with it. They cherish this mark forever. The survivor gains +1 permanent luck. So, now this may seem like cheating, but obviously we're going to go ahead and give that to Lightning. She's going to get herself +1 luck. So 1 permanent luck for Lightning. Good for you. Okay, now let's talk about Lightning. So, originally I had said that now that she's a Twilight Sword Master, which she is, Twilight Sword Mastery doesn't really do anything, and Twilight Sword Specialization, let me grab it. It's actually great that I went back to the box and grabbed something, because I forgot to put something out that we needed, so this is actually really great. So, here's Twilight Sword Mastery, which Lightning just had gotten. So, any survivor who attains Twilight Sword Mastery leaves the settlement forever in pursuit of a higher purpose. Remove them from the settlement's population. Now, that doesn't happen in Twilight Knight in Training campaign. So, when you place them in another gear grid, so Mastery doesn't do anything for Twilight Knight in Training. But she is a Master now, so she could switch weapon proficiencies and still gain the benefits of the Mastery, because the Mastery gets added to the settlement's innovations. So the Mastery gets added to the settlement's innovations, and then the Master still has it, but it doesn't become an ability. The Master just gets the benefits of the Mastery as long as the Mastery is still an innovation. So if you lose the innovation, then the Master loses the ability, and then the Master has the specializations because the Mastery grants them, right? So that doesn't happen with the Twilight Sword. And if you look at it, the Twilight Sword specializations, so you can see when you have 2 ranks, you ignore cumbersome 4 and 6 ranks, right? But if you switch masteries, or if you switch weapon proficiencies, you lose all your ranks. You don't stay, even though you're still a master, you don't stay with 8 ranks. So if I switched her, it would be just worthless. So I can't switch her to Fist and Tooth, which is what I wanted her to do. So I can't do that. So this is just a pointless card that now enters here, but she's just going to have to remain a master with. So I can't switch her weapon proficiency. Yay. So that means someone else is going to have to become Fist and Tooth. It means I'm also 5 years behind on now getting that mastery, which is not great when this is already like pretty much building to not that great of a settlement already. So that's like doubly not great. So whoever goes out from this A, or who did I say was going out? B. So whoever goes out from B, or yeah, B I think is what I said was going out. Either way, they are going to be Fist and Tooth if they can, as soon as I can. But I'm going to have to switch someone else because they can't actually get proficiency. So Yisa's sword, Mordor's bow. So just sucks all around here. So I'm going to have to wait for someone to be able to take Fist and Tooth. And I don't even know. I'm probably going to have to fight an Antelope just so I can get rid of Vestopia from Ysa. But I wanted to fight a Gorm. So this just sucks all around. But it is what it is. So someone's going to have to get Fist and Tooth. So, the other thing that I said, I forgot. Someone just leveled up. Insight. Or someone B here triggered Insight. So we have patterns. I forgot, I got to draw a pattern card. So I'm shuffling up the pattern deck here. And we're going to randomly get a new pattern that we can make stuff out of. Any of these are okay. It would be great to get that earring. Then I could ignore Vestopia or Vestophobia. That'd be good. We'll see what we get. So that one. Tempered Spear. This is great. I didn't really want to go Spear, but Tempered Spear is awesome. So now we can make Tempered Spear. We just add it to our settlement available building stuff. I don't know. It's not a settlement location. But so Tempered Spear, which is great. We can now make this. Let's see what it actually requires. Scrap Sword. We don't have one of those. We have Cloth. So we don't have a Scrap Sword. We have 2 Bone. We don't have Cloth. We don't have any Leather. We don't have Scrap Smelting. And we don't have a Bone Club. So, we can't even make this Tempered Spear. But we have it. It's actually really good. I'm going to probably switch to it later. But I really wanted to try to do the sword and dagger stuff, and we've already started down that road. Or well, I guess technically we didn't. We just lost the dagger guy. So technically we didn't go down that road now. So maybe we'll go down Spear or something else. So yeah. So that's that. That's the long settlement phase where basically all we did was roll on charts. Didn't even really make anything. Didn't do anything else. And now we have to decide, we fight a Screaming Antelope to try to get rid of Vestophobia, because I will need Trepanning. But I think I'm just going to go Gorm. Finish up going down the sword route with Ysa and trying to get Black Sword as fast as I can. And maybe making Gorman armor maybe, perhaps. Either way, Knuckle Shield would also help. So, thank you so much for watching. So very humbling. I don't know when this will go up. I know next weekend's like 4th of July, and I'm very busy next week. I've got a lot of family stuff going on next week, so I don't know when this will actually go up. But hopefully, I know I just talked about trying to speed things up and get things out quicker, but fortunately, I don't know when I'm going to have time to edit this. My normal editing time is now being used towards something else. So hopefully I get this up within a week or two. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next next hunt phase.